Welcome back, everybody. This is video 2. We're going to read pages 8 through 13 in the Ben Franklin magazine. So if you don't already have it next to you in front of your eyes, go and grab it. We're going to start off here on page 8. Scientist and inventor. What made Ben Franklin, who had only 2 years of schooling, a leading scientist of the 18th century? The answer is that he was curious. Ben couldn't help wondering why things did what they did or how things worked. Gypsum is a chalk-like substance found naturally in rocks. Ben saw that spreading gypsum on a field made grass grow greener. He suggested farmers put it on their crops. That's why he gets credit for the idea. I'm sorry. That's why he gets credit for the idea of using artificial fertilizer, a substance added to soil to make plants grow better. He also was one of the first to figure out why so many printers, painters, and plumbers were getting sick because of the tools of their trades. They were suffering from lead poisoning. Ben wanted to know why it took so much longer to sail from Britain to America than the other way around. So he talked to whaling captains from Nantucket, an island off Massachusetts. They told him about a rapid current that runs through the Atlantic Ocean. We now call it the Gulf Stream. Franklin decided to chart this current. On his many transatlantic crossings, he recorded the water temperature several times a day. He discovered that a stranger may know when he is in the Gulf Stream by the warmth of the water, which is much greater than that of the water on each side of it. It's kind of like a current, a huge current in the ocean that moves kind of from Europe towards America. So it's quicker when you travel from Europe towards America on a ship, and much longer when you go the other way. So let's take a look at this photo spanning both pages. It says Ben Franklin studies electrical attraction and repulsion. Bottom of page 8. Poor Richard says, no gains without pains. This image here, Franklin is credited with inventing this odometer, which, when attached to his carriage, it showed how many miles he had traveled. Very cool. You invented the odometer. All right, top of page 9. Take a look at this. Ben realized that warming an entire room with a fireplace was next to impossible. His solution, the Pennsylvania fireplace. It was an open iron box with air chambers on each side. The box fit into a fireplace and allowed heat to spread into a room more efficiently. A scientist friend of Franklin's credited a modified version called the Franklin stove. Versions of that stove can still be found in many homes today. So that's the original one he did. And that's the copycat version. Do any of you guys have one of those? This image here, it says, Ben designed this generator above, which produced static electricity. It was manufactured according to his instructions. So static electricity is kind of what happens when you rub a balloon on your hair and the hair sticks to the balloon. Let's take a look at this cartoon here. Check it out. Franklin proved that darker cloth absorbed more heat than lighter cloth by performing a clever experiment. On a sunny winter day, how do you think he did it? Take a look at this. Looks like snow. Here's a light colored cloth, a dark colored cloth. It's sunny. We learned the dark one absorbs more heat. What do you think happened? Take a look at this one now. After Ben saw a woven basket sprouting in a stream, he said, that basket is alive. Then he planted the sprouts, and so he is credited with bringing weeping willow trees to the North American continent. Huh. A basket made of willow branches, probably, and he planted it and it grew a willow tree. Man, I love willow trees. All right, this one here. Franklin claimed to have developed a smokeless candle. He also invented a candle made from whale oil. It burned brighter and lasted longer than ordinary candles. He also said his candle left no grease spots when it dripped. Very cool. Looks like he's pouring wax into candle molds. Let's move to pages 10 and 11, my friends. Franklin's kite experiment. I wonder how many of you already know this story. We've got a kite with lightning. There's a key on the string. What will happen? Let's find out. Top left here, Franklin's kite experiment. Franklin is probably most famous for his kite experiment. As the story goes, he and his son flew a silk kite on a long cord when the sky was full of black clouds. A metal rod was tied to the kite. An iron key was attached to the end of the cord. Franklin and his son tied a silk string to the end of the cord where the key was. They kept the silk dry and hung onto it. As storm clouds approached, the metal rod drew electricity, which Franklin called electric fire. From them, when rain got the kite and the cord wet, that electricity was conducted or traveled from the rod to the key. That's because water is a good conductor of electricity. Franklin touched the key with his knuckle and felt an electric shock. This proved his theory that lightning was a form of electricity. Franklin was willing to risk a shock to test for electricity, but he also knew enough to end the experiment before lightning struck. Franklin warned anyone who tried his experiment to stand at a window or in a doorway. He also told them to keep the silk cord dry and away from the door or window frame. If the silk got wet, a lightning strike could be deadly. Bottom right of page 11, this little tombstone. Several people in various countries, including France, England, Russia, and Belgium, tried Ben's experiment and were successful. But Professor George Wilhelm Richman of Russia wasn't so lucky. He was electrocuted and died in 1753. Look at this electric circuit. Very dangerous to play with electricity. Pages 12 and 13. Looks like we're going to talk about some more electricity. Top of page 12. The lightning rod and other practical inventions. Ben Franklin made many discoveries about electricity. He is best known for demonstrating that the electrical nature of lightning. Franklin did not seek knowledge for his own sake. He thought it should serve a useful purpose. The practical product of his kite and key experiment was the lightning rod, a pointed iron rod that is raised above the rooftop. During storms, the rod attracts lightning. A wire attached to the rod leads the lightning harmlessly into the ground. In the 1750s, lightning rods went up everywhere, increasing Franklin's reputation. But Franklin made little money from his inventions. He didn't patent them. A patent registers an invention with the government and gives the inventor the right to earn money on it. Franklin let anyone copy his inventions. Let's take a look at this photo right here. Franklin invented a musical instrument called the harmonica. It was made of 37 glass bowls, which rotated in a case filled with water. When touched, the wet rims produced soft, warbling sounds. Both Mozart and Beethoven wrote music for it. Whoa, I've never even heard of the harmonica. Very cool. This chair, Ben designed this chair desk combination. It features a tabletop arm that can be swung back out of the way when it isn't being used as a desk. We still have those today. Over here, Ben invented this chair in which the seat can be turned into a step ladder and made it easier for him to reach the top shelves in his library. Very cool. Such a beautiful photo of lightning. I don't know what city this is, but you can see the lightning striking the tallest buildings. Bottom of page 13. Let's read about these glasses. For here and here. Ben found that he needed his reading glasses to see his dinner plate, but he also found that he couldn't see his dinner guests well without his regular glasses. So he invented bifocals. These were spectacles with that half a reading glass lens mounted below half a lens for distance vision. So you look through the top to see far away and through the bottom for reading. Kind of makes sense. You look down when you read, right? We still have these today. They're just not as obvious in the glass. In the photo for the lightning, not everyone approved of lightning rods. Many people believed that lightning was a sign of God's anger. They felt it was wrong to interfere with his expression of his will. Others worried that directing so much electricity into the ground would cause earthquakes. Some Bostonians blamed lightning rods for the earthquake that struck their city in 1755. But that's not true. That does not cause earthquakes. Poor Richard says, "Well done is better than well said." It's from his almanac. All right, my friends, for this video, we learned about the lightning rod and some of his other inventions. We learned specifically how he discovered that electricity is, in fact, the same as lightning. Lightning is a form of electricity. And all about his love of science and being an inventor. Even though he wasn't highly educated, he was curious, which really is the key to being a scientist. That was video 2. I will see you in the next video.